Every journey, no matter how difficult, starts with a single step. And that's the purpose behind Just Say Hello. It's a campaign to help bring people together in a time when so many of us are divided. The man behind it insists something as simple as a hello could do a lot to bridge those divides. Joining me now, the man behind it, Kerman Maddox, whose own personal experiences helped form this movement. Kerman, what a delight to see you today. How are you?
I'm fine. Thanks, Michaela. I'm a big fan of yours, so thanks for having me on the show.
Well, look, I'm a big fan of anybody who's trying to build bridges, because I think we've had a lot of this divide in the nation, right? We try to point out the differences when I believe we have more alike than we do have different. What was behind your urge to start this campaign?
So it's very simple, Michaela. I noticed a lot of tension was existing here in Southern California after the George Floyd killing. It just seemed like people were going out of their way to avoid each other. And in many cases, it was people who lived in their own communities. My experience was when I went to the market, when I went to the park, as I walked the dog, as I went about my day-to-day living, I just noticed a lot of people would not respond back to me when I said hello. When I waved to them, they wouldn't acknowledge that. And I noticed the people who did not look like me were the ones who were less receptive, if you will. So I thought, wow, this is really unusual. We got to figure out a way to connect people on a basic human level. So I came up with this concept, just say hello to people who don't look like you, just to promote humanity and respect and communication, so we can kind of communicate, because if we don't communicate, we can't solve problems. So it's pretty simple.
Okay, underscore that. How much of this do you think is just one of the byproducts of living in a big city?
So I think that's part of it, but I noticed a difference, Michaela, because before I didn't pick up on the tension. It just seemed like the tension really happened after George Floyd. So I noticed a distinct change in people's behavior.
And so you probably started a little mini focus group, tried it out yourself. How did that go over?
I did. It was based on my own personal experiences. Then I talked to my wife about it. Then I talked to friends about it. And I said, check it out. Just as you walk your dog, as you go about your daily living, just check it out, see what happens. People came back and said, you're onto something. So we decided we're onto something. Let's see if we can change behavior. Let's put something together. So me and the people at Dakota Communications, we came up with a concept and we went out there and tried to raise some money. So we got billboards, we have a TV commercial, we have literature, and we have a partnership with LAPD, who is now, Michaela, trying to use it to improve police-community relations.
That point right there, brother, because you and I both know when we talk about the importance of recreating and readjusting criminal justice in the nation, there's been this move towards community policing, but community policing is ineffectual if the people aren't talking, right? If folks aren't talking to one another.
Yeah, you could have all the discussions you want about community policing, refund the police department, reimagine law enforcement, but if you can't have basic communication between the guys in blue and the gals in blue and the people they're supposed to police, then you're not going to go anywhere. So we recognize that LAPD understands they're not perfect. They're trying to improve. And what they want to do is they've adopted this concept. They decided to join with us, and they're going to do what they call Coffee with a Cop. And at every instance, they're going to give out Just Say Hello masks, Just Say Hello t-shirts, and try and start a conversation, Michaela, in targeted communities where they need to improve police-community relations. So I give them credit for recognizing they're not perfect, and they are, in fact, trying to do better.
You're a sophisticated guy. You get the fact that we can't just, a fancy billboard campaign and a slogan can't fix the world's problems. And I know you know that. But there is something to the idea. You're on to something. We have to start talking to one another. And we also have to start listening to one another. And a hello is a way to start that engagement.
We think so. Look, we're not going to solve the nation's difficult problems around race with just saying hello. We get that, but we think we can start a conversation to get people to communicate. It's okay to be polite. It's okay to respect other people. It's okay to promote humanity. You know, we got to stop the hate and division. And we think just say hello to start a conversation with people who don't look like you is a step in the right direction.
By the way,
so
because that hello, I mean, songs have been written about it. We were just talking about that in the studio. It's a powerful word. What it says is, I see you.
Absolutely. I see you. I recognize you. I acknowledge you, Michaela. I acknowledge that you exist. That's a big deal, especially for people of color.
It is a big deal, especially for people of color. Man, that gave, yes, that sat with me. It's also profound in this time of isolation. We're coming out of it now. I recognize that. We're moving. We're hopefully getting on the other side of this pandemic slowly but surely. But this connection point, right, Kerman, we've been disconnected in this so-called connected world, and this verbal hello is a way of reestablishing that connection.
We think so. I mean, it's been a difficult year because of the coronavirus pandemic. People have a lot of pent-up frustration, and there's a lot of tension out there. I mean, the hate directed toward Asian Americans is a whole nother thing. And we've actually tried to connect those dots, Michaela, because with the recent rise in violence against Asian Americans, we've connected with some Asian organizations to say, hey, stop the hate, just say hello. So we think there's a role for this as we as a community try and bring people together, stop the division, promote humanity, and get back to the old days when being polite, Michaela, was a good thing and respecting people was a good thing.
It was funny because I talk to folks. We can't get out of a grocery store without me talking to people. Restaurants, the same thing. And I always thought that was just sort of my small town Canadian upbringing of just saying hi to people. But I love this idea. I love this idea so much, Kerman Maddox. I was saying to somebody the other day about, you know, the importance of seeking out these bridge builders, and you're doing that. You're finding common ground with people, so I salute you. And by the way, he's hoping to get #JustSayHello challenge circulated on the social medias, so watch for that to happen. You'll see the billboards around town, again, partnering with the LAPD. Kudos to you. We tip our hat to you, and thank you, Kerman. Thank you so much for this effort.
Go to the website, justsayhello.org.
Right there on your screen. Give it a visit and be part of it. Say hello. Good to see you. Stay well, brother. Stay well.
All right, bye-bye.
Okay. I like that. 9:37. Let's